Go ahead.
Hi, my name is Annie Chivicheski, and I am a staff at Crossroads Center for Children, but I also am a mom of an adult son with autism. This is Joe. My son's name is Joe.
How old is he?
Joe is 35.
And how did you find out that he had autism? Or when? How and when?
Joe was diagnosed at the age of 3, but prior to that, he was attending a daycare, and staff noticed that there were some behaviors that were unusual for a typical child. So,
what kind of behaviors did you see?
Just not interacting, kind of like as far as playing goes, he would walk the perimeter of the playground or the room and not interact with other kids. Hand flapping, repeating words over and over again.
How old was he at that point? You said he was daycare?
He was 3.
3.
He was 3
okay.
years old, yeah.
And then you went to a doctor?
Then he went to a developmental specialist,
Mm-hmm.
Dr. Malone, and was diagnosed with, back then they called it infantile autism. So at the age of, he was a little over 3. He was 3 years, 3 months.
Mm-hmm. So he's, then he went on to a program or?
And then after that happened, he started attending New Meadow Preschool and was receiving behaviors for speech. And then he started with, he was one of the first kids to receive ABA at New Meadow Preschool in Glenville. So that really helped him a lot.
Great. How long did that placement last? That took him up till he was 12?
He was at New Meadow till he reached the age of 5, and then he attended BOCES programs in the area, Burnt Hills and Scotia.
Okay.
With similar programs. They didn't call it ABA, they had a different name for it,
Mm-hmm.
but they did something similar to that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. And so take us through his high school years. What did that look like?
Well, Joe was a very active little boy whose language increased as he became older, and happy-go-lucky, just very busy boy. But when he became an adolescent, that's when things changed with him. His behaviors, which I wasn't expecting, turned from this mild child to a different person. So he started having more maladaptive behaviors, hitting, throwing, things that I was not expecting.
Mm-hmm.
So that
more
was
on the
kind
aggressive side of things than he'd been.
Right.
Yeah.
And he had to take meds, I think, when he was like 11, 12 years old. They started taking meds to help him with some of his behaviors because they were affecting his ability to function
Mm-hmm.
appropriately. So they were helping him.
Yeah. And when he got into his later than high school, so his young adulthood.
He was in BOCES, and then he maxed out there, and he attended a young adult at Wildwood
Mm-hmm.
for, I think he was 21.
Okay.
And he was up to the age of 21, I'm sorry, from 18 to 21, he attended the young adult program at Wildwood, and they worked on skills, like life skills, like how to function in a house, how to do the dishes at the table,
Mm-hmm.
things that were appropriate for him.
Yeah.
So that's what they worked on with him, and it was a great program.
Mm-hmm.
And then once he graduated from there, he started going to a day hat program at Living Resources, and he's been there ever since. And he's still attending there now, and he's been there since he was 21. So he's been there for 14 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
And would you describe him as happy or kind of quiet, or how would you describe his personality today?
He's quiet, more quiet than he used to be, but it takes a special person to get him to talk to you. But if you are comfortable around him and you joke with him, he starts talking to you and he laughs. He's a very humorous young adult. So you have, just like any typical people, to me he's typical. He just takes sometimes you just
A little
have
bit
to just be
longer.
yourself. If you feel nervous around him,
He picks up on that.
he picks up on that. And
Uh-huh.
so he, he'll shut down a little bit, but just like anybody else, he's a great kid, and I love him to the moon and back. So.
I know you do. You do. What would you suggest to parents out there that are just starting out on this journey today, knowing that you've worked at Crossroads for all these years and you know all about ABA and using the strategies that Joe has been successful with? What would you things have changed obviously, but what I'm saying is what would you recommend to a parent just getting the news or just starting out on this whole journey?
Well, for me, it was a shock to find out when I found out, but I did all I did. I wanted to do whatever I could to help him, and I did a lot of research, and I talked to a lot of people, and I didn't give up on him.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't use autism as an excuse for things that were happening to him. I wanted what was best for him. I wanted him to be happy, happiest, enjoy his life, whatever it was. Like if he wanted to do like some people on the spectrum, they get a job or they do things like that, and that's okay. But like for Joe, for me, what was important to him is that he was happy in what he was doing, and he is.
Yeah.
So for me, I just don't give up on him no matter what's going on around him. And he's had some ups and downs like everybody else, but I didn't give up on it. I like he's my world. So don't give up on your kid. Just and keep advocating for him. I advocating even though he doesn't live with me anymore. I'm his biggest advocate to this day. So
I feel like I see that in you all the time. Your advocacy for him and for other people that are going through the same thing, and what you said about wanting him to be happy, I feel like that speaks to every parent. Like what do you want the most for your kids is that they're happy.
Right.
Like that's the life that you want for your
and
kids.
I think that's why I started working at Crossroads, because I wanted to give back to other parents for the way that Joe was helped also, but I wanted to find a way to give back to parents because I understand what they're going through. So I thought in my perspective it was I can help parents because I understand it from both perspectives, from as a teacher and as a parent.
Right.
So that's why I started to work here 23 years ago.
Yeah.
So, and this is like my second home, and I love my job. So I don't know.
Before you start crying.
I'm already starting.
So I'll say thank you so much for telling your story, and I know there's a lot more to it.
There's a lot. I could talk forever.
But I think this is going to be nice for the people who get our newsletter to just get. Yep, I'm going to do a little video, and I'll tweak it. I might tweak it little bits here and there, but I think it'll be nice for people to, have a sense of what it's like if they don't know, and what an inspiration you are if they are going through it too. So even everybody can be inspired by just the love that you have as a mom. So thank you.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.